The Hokies dropped an overtime decision in Raleigh to NC State back on February 2nd. So the Hokies took them right down to the wire. That was the 8th straight loss for Virginia Tech. Look at our officials here for game 2. Hey, there's a little bit of pressure on Eric Green after what Olivier Hanlon did in game 1 for Boston College. Off the charts. Howell goes in strong for the first 2.
Well, I like that. You know, you're an NC State team that has got a dynamite offensive team. The guy least likely to be relied on heavily offensively. You establish him early. Good, strong post move by Howell.
Eddie in the corner. Up top here for Brown. Robert Brown, the sophomore from Florida. Now Green with his first touch. He gives it up for Brown, and he can't knock down the long one. Howell snares the rebound. He averages 11 rebounds a game, leading the ACC in that category. I haven't seen a better rebounder all year in college basketball.
Agreed. Mason Plumlee was rebounding at an incredible rate early against high-level competition.
Leslie out of the double team. It popped up in the air. He gets it free to Brown in the lane. The dunk down pass, nicely done for Howell. So Howell obviously the early target here at NC State with a quick 4-0 lead.
This is the end that's intriguing to me. I mean, we know that NC State can score it. Their shooting percentage is terrific. How committed to your high-level defense are you through the postseason? Because that's going to dictate how successful you are.
That one airmailed along the baseline, and NC State hoping to do what Georgia Tech did to Boston College in the early moments of game 1. They ran out to a 15-0 lead. Look at Howell now, 5th player in NC State history to get that many rebounds, and he just picked off his first one moments ago, and a nice sweet touch by Leslie.
Mark Gottfried said of this mercurial star, he's got a chance to silence his critics by playing well and consistently.
6-0 the Wolfpack, and they have a lot of fans here in Greensboro, a lot of red shirts in this crowd here for the second game of the ACC tournament. Raines trying to get in close and does. A lot of banging, but he gets it done. Sedarian Raines, big junior at 6'9". Brown slams on the brakes. There's been some talk about the health of that ankle. Here's a long-range shot that glances away.
Well, I think the questions are natural. Lorenzo Brown, when you looked at the first 5 or 6 games that he comes back after that ankle injury, his percentages were not great. He's back up around 41%. So I think he's getting healthier. Probably not 100%. Good pass.
He could still do that. Barksdale swats away the Howell shot. So the Wolfpack will retain. 17:29 to go here in the opening half. 2 games to come in the night session as well. In for Warren. The youngster leans in. Can't connect. Big battle for the rebound. And it's off of the Wolfpack. Mark Gottfried, his second year as the head coach at NC State, coming out of the ESPN broadcast booth and led the Wolfpack to the 2012 Sweet 16 last year.
He had a job to do this week in practice because, you know, we had him against Florida State. He clearly wanted this day off. And so you got to get your guys refocused again.
Tough shot by Robert Brown, the sophomore who struggled with his shooting all season long.
This is a team that, can you get a second score? Can Jarrell Eddy put up 15 points today? This offense from NC State is so good that they can't simply rely on Green and expect to be competitive.
Warren handing off for Wood, and he fumbled it away. Stolen by Eddy. Jarrell Eddy, the junior from Charlotte. Long jumper and knocked down by Eric Green out of the corner.
Did they just miss a travel though?
I think so.
I think they did. I mean, he's dribbling, he mishandles it, then he dribbles again.
Yep, looked like it from our vantage point. Virginia Tech has just jumped into the lead after a quick start by NC State. Howell up top. Wood turns and fires and draws a foul. In the act of taking that shot with 16:18 to go.
Well, Virginia Tech takes the lead on their last bucket. This is what precedes it. Watch this. So he's dribbling. Oh. And Mark Gottfried was calling for the travel the entire time. Doesn't get it.
Wood, a great foul shooter. He hits 91%. So with the great ones, that's never the announcer's kiss of death.
No,
you know?
okay, I see.
If you're 75%, 77, if you're in there, you're in trouble. But not a guy who hits 91%.
He'd be the best by percentage if he had enough to count. He just doesn't he make it look easy there?
Yes. Every time he shoots it. Marquise Rankin, a 6'1" sophomore, in now for the Hokies. Eric Green around the back, drives the lane, bottled up. He got it outside. Eddie connects.
So some secondary guys starting the game well for Virginia Tech, and they've got a 1-point edge.
Leslie being pushed outside that lane. Here's Brown to lift, and that's well short.
I don't think it's a good shot either.
Barksdale picked off the rebound. Up top for Green. Only BYU, Miami, and North Carolina have held Eric Green below 20 points this year. That's amazing. Here's a long one from him, and he got it, a three-pointer.
He plays with pace. He's very smart about reading the defense. You know, there's a guy standing up. Is he down in a stance? Can he get by? Does he have the jumper?
I want to know, is he inspired by the freshman from Boston College, Olivier Hanlon, at 41, a new freshman ACC tournament record. Here's Howell to knock it down.
Outstanding no call, and that's what Lorenzo Brown. He took a quick three the last time. This guy, he's not. I don't know that they have a body inside that can contend for long stretches with Mr. Howell.
Howell named by the media to the All-ACC first team. Averaged a double-double. And I think amazingly still underrated.
I agree. Undersold on the national stage. We talked about Joe Harris as one of those guys for Virginia. He's another one.
Rankin lost it. Brown comes out of there with it. Woods open for a three. He knocks it down. Well, he hits 42%. And NC State has retaken the lead.
Well, your transition defense against State has got to be really good. You let them loose and get their floor balance offensively, you're going to be in trouble. Wood will stretch you from three. Their interior guys will rim run.
Eddie back for Barksdale. Tough leaner and a blocking foul. Count the basket. He'll go to the line. Howell took the hit. He went down, but he commits the foul.
Well, nice job by the others. Mr. Green getting some offensive support. Good find. The N1 when we come back. Virginia Tech hanging tough through the first six.
ESPNU's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's. And Old Spice
off Monday at 1 on ESPNU.
14:03 to play here in the first half. Game 2 of round 1. All part of the ACC tournament. Doris Burke, take us inside the play.
Well, when you've got a point guard that's 6'5", watch Lorenzo Brown turn the corner right here. Stop it, guys. So he's making this drive, which is going to draw the defender who's checking Mr. Howell. When he thinks he's going to get a charge, he understands where the help has come from and puts the ball on the money. That was after he took a quick three the prior possession. He gets back to doing what he does best, delivering the ball.
One of the great assist men in the country for Mark Gottfried. Wolfpack 5-2 since he came back from his ankle injury against Clemson. He missed basically 3 games. Barksdale at the line. Virginia Tech with a 1-point lead, and they've made their last 6 shots. That's a 3-point play for Barksdale.
Well, you made note of it. That one, he misses 2 starts, but he got hurt earlier in the Virginia game. That's a huge game for Virginia. Huge win.
Brown trying to get out of that backcourt, and a reach-in foul by Virginia Tech to stop the clock with 13:57 to go. James Johnson, first-year head coach of the Hokies. Now look at the early trends now. Tie 5 lead changes, although terribly early. James Johnson, by the way, was on Jim Laranaga's staff at George Mason, the one that went to the Final Four in '06. Leslie slicing in. That's an acrobatic play.
I always wonder which C.J. Leslie is going to show up. The dynamite offensive player who cannot be guarded with all of those moves. I'll tell you what, his quickness and ability to read defenses makes him so difficult free throw line and down.
Stolen away by Wood. Great anticipation. And he's fouled on the play as he went up for the dunk. He got drilled on the right forearm by Rankin. So we go back to Leslie.
Yeah, just watch this. They get him the ball at the elbow so often. They run such good stuff. And this guy, hard driving, gets the angle. That is beautiful.
We say that often for stretches of games with CJ, because I think that encompasses some beautiful basketball and some dominating stuff.
When C.J. Leslie is playing his game at the top of his level, I would say that, what, at least 70–80% of the time he should be the best player on the floor.
Now Wood now is 7 points. Tyler Lewis will come on. They'll take over in the backcourt. 13:22 to go. First half from Greensboro. NC State with a 2-point lead on Virginia Tech. Here's Eddie. Eddie on the drive, swooping in, banks it, not there, but he'll go to the line and he'll shoot a pair. Trying to tie up the ball game here. Well, it's the day you've been waiting for, Selection Sunday. Coverage on ESPN starting with bracketology at 3. And then at 6, Sports Center will provide coverage of the brackets as they are announced. And at 7, our experts will break it all down with 2 hours of bracketology. Eddie at the line, 84%. He's number 1 for the Hokies at the line. So Rankin will hit the bench. Rodney Purvis into the game for the first time for the Wolfpack, the freshman from Raleigh.
You can see it's been a little bit of a dip in his productivity and obviously his shooting percentage for Eddie. And you'd think it'd almost be the opposite, right? Because Eric Green is going to draw so much defensive attention, and that's what I'm talking about. The others around Green.
Here's Wood to lift the long one. Got a great look. Van Zegeren with the rebound. Well, they have 11 points from guys not named Eric Green. He can't bank that one in. Lewis found the lane, got airborne over the back. Leslie, good hesitation. That would have counted. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. So Leslie fouled. He'll be at the stripe here with 12:42 on the clock. Leslie has scuffled at the line, just a 61% foul shooter, but looks good on that first one. In the top 10 in both scoring and rebounding in the ACC. Although, of course, he was the preseason ACC Player of the Year.
And I like Mark Gottfried's approach. You know, you came on the telecast saying 4 games, 4 days. You can't think of it that way if you're NC State. It's got to be next up. Virginia Tech is the only thing that should be in their minds. Forget the season. Forget any disappointments, any huge wins. Just play the game in front of you. That, to me, is one of the things Mike Krzyzewski does as well as anybody in the country. He gets his guys locked in for the 40 minutes in front of them.
Brown trying to drive it. The teardrop, no. Leslie with the rebound. He's been crashing the glass here early. Wood into the lane. Howells back in, and he attacks for 2.
Yeah, just dynamite. This is a state team that is number 1 in the Power 6 conferences in points produced in the paint. They're almost at 39 points per game. Look at the shots Richard Howell has gotten today.
Big reason why they've been up around 50% all year. Green's off target. Tyler Lewis, who did some pretty good work when Brown was out with that turned ankle. Got some valuable experience there.
Oh, you can tell the kid knows how to run the point guard spot. You know, he knows how to play.
He penetrates into the lane. A lot of contact. Strip taken away by Brown. Robert Brown took it clean. Makes a nice pass and the stuff. Easy basket for Raines. Robert Brown with a real nice series there. 11:04 to go in the first half. Purvis. Here's Leslie. Past Wood, but can't connect. Gets it back. Has another opportunity here. And a whistle. Traveling. 25 points a game for Virginia Tech. So Green, who averages 26 a game in ACC play, is also named by the media the ACC Player of the Year.
And it had to be an extraordinary season. When you've won 4 conference games as a team, it had to be that kind of year for Eric Green. This young man has taken some heat because, you know, at times through the losing, he has said he's enjoyed the season. You know, listen, this is a guy who's paid the price in the gym. In fact, tried to drag his teammates to the gym. There has to be some reward for that hard work. I'm happy for him.
He's a college kid averaging 25 points a game in the ACC. You've got to be able to enjoy some of that without people jumping on you.
Correct. Nice play. Really good find by Raines. He has done a nice job, Raines, carving some space with that great frame, and then in that instance making the find.
For Barksdale, who stuffed it down. And the Hokies grab the lead, and a foul away from the basketball here with 10:30 to go. That'll go against the Hokies.
Now think about this, you know, Eric Green, and Allison documented this at the start of the game. As a freshman, he averaged 2 points, went 16 games without scoring. He actually read in this information age and social media, he read that what a wasted scholarship. So, you know what? He said, I'm going to get in the gym and I'm going to prove people wrong.
Rankin just picked up his second foul for Virginia Tech. Lorenzo Brown around the screen by Warren. Now he'll back it up and set up a play. NC State coming in 22-9, 11-7 in the ACC. Top 25 strength of schedule. Great spin by Purvis, but knocked away with 11 on the shot clock.
Good activity. Virginia Tech, good activity, good scout defense. Eddie knows that when Purvis gets in the lane, if you cut off his right hand, he will spin, very much like C.J. Leslie. Shot clock at 5 now. Howell with a rare jumper, but all net. He looks dynamite. He's 5 of 6 shooting it. Most of those around the iron here early. And 10 points for Richard Howell. And stolen away. Howell gets it back and lays it in. 6'8", 257 pounds. Stepping in a passing lane, using a dribble, an efficient dribble. And has the Wolfpack in front by 3. Barksdale back out for the guard, Brown. 9:20 left here in the first half. We'll see if Eric Green gets rolling. Eddie. Now a fight for it. Brown went down. Out of play it goes. They're going to keep it. But NC State really clamping down, and 5 on the shot clock here with 9:10 to go in the half. Love it. That's an opportunistic trap. That's 2 guys recognizing that Virginia Tech is in trouble. So they trap athletic enough so that if they get out of the trap, they could have recovered. Perfect. Good read. Good defense. Eddie a little bit banged up as he hit the deck. Jarrell Eddie, the junior from Charlotte, wearing a grimace, flexing that knee. So the Hokies have to get a shot in the air. On the low block. Raines, kind of a wild shot. Purvis comes out of the pack with it for the Wolfpack. And he's going to be traveling with it. Tried to plant that foot, but he dragged it. 3-point lead for NC State. A young mistake. Well, this play that we're going to show you is anything but a young mistake. This is a guy with experience and speed. And how about that pass? I think this is perfectly done, 2-on-1.
Well, as they showed North Carolina, they know how the transition game works. When they get it going, they can get it going to perfection. Brown driving hard, left it well short. 8:41 to go, and it'll be NC State ball.
Virginia Tech.
Marshall Wood will check in now for Virginia Tech.
Well, he had a near career day the last time these two teams faced off.
Howell looking for a cutter, back to the guard, Brown. And a reach in and a foul as they tried to hold up Wood. Foul on Virginia Tech with 8:26 to go.
Good read of the mismatch by Wood, recognizing the smaller defender, posting him up, and by Brown finding him.
Robert Brown, second foul. Will Johnston, a 6'3" sophomore, now in for the Hokies as Brown will sit with his second foul.
Now Virginia Tech, because of some mismatches, going to sit in the zone, it looks like.
The freshman Purvis gets it in.
Yeah, good recognition. A little 2-3 zone, so Brown calls out the 1-3-1 offense.
Purvis got it up there, but short. So it's been frozen here for a while, 24-21. Eddie gets the jump shot in the air, and that's all net, a two-pointer.
This is a guy who's capable offensively. Just lift the defense, little simple ball fake.
Eddie has 6. Now the Wolfpack to take their time, although they have scored at least 80 points 15 times. Could be a high-octane offense. And a whistle, a foul against NC State.
With an NC State team that is at the top of the list in terms of their points per game in the ACC, other guys, the others, not all Eric Green, lift the defense, Jarrell Eddy, off to a solid start, efficient use of the dribble, and the Hokies hanging.
Virginia Tech, back to Greensboro.
It is 24-23, and Richard Howell has certainly shown up here in round 1 for NC State to lead all scorers. He has 12 points to us.
We know him as the undersized but relentless rebounder. Today he's been a dominant offensive force around the basket. A hard drive to the right, reacting off Lorenzo Brown's dribble drive, moving without the basketball, just playing off his teammates, right? Understanding, okay, you're dribble driving, I'm going to find the open spot, and then the sweet mid-range. His teammates would say right now he's beasting.
Beasting.
Beasting. I don't know what that means, but I guess he's playing ball.
6 of 7. On the other side now, Eric Green scoreless over about the last 8 minutes. But Virginia Tech is staying close because the other Hokies have combined for 17 points.
Mark Jones.
Right there.
Mark Jones might say he's cooking with hot grease.
I've heard Jonesy say that. Green with it, and a timeout. Virginia Tech takes a timeout there.
I think they were nervous about the 10-second violation. Yeah.
So
but that's
James Johnson takes one here.
Well, and Mark Gottfried is hot, and I don't blame him. And he is hot. He is so angry because he feels like they had. Look at where the 25-second clock is. You see what I'm saying? The 35-second clock. He knows it was a 10-second violation. They're not going to get that call.
Well, now they're going to huddle on this. Brian Kersey, Tim Nestor, and Jerry Heater will watch the clock again.
Sort of casual, directing traffic. That clock is ticking down. Now, it is when the official acknowledges the timeout, okay? So, okay, that's the rule. It's when the official acknowledges the timeout. That is so close.
NC State with a 1-point lead here, so that's about as hot as we have seen Mark Gottfried, at least since the Florida State game just a few days ago.
Yeah. Well, and it's a big call, obviously, because, listen, every call is a big call to NC State. I think that at times this year, this team has felt some pressure, and they need to get off to a good start here.
Now the Hokies still trying to get out of that backcourt. Finally do. Ahead to Eddie for a 19-footer, and he'll hit it.
Love it. I love how assertive and aggressive Eric's teammates have been today. You know, they're not sitting back content to watch Eric get 25. Jarrell Eddie is 3 for 3 and looking to score.
And has put the Hokies in front. And they played earlier this season. It went overtime before NC State pulled it out. Howell drawing a lot of attention, finds an open man, and it's Warren for 2.
Oh, beautifully done. And I love how many different ways Mr. Warren will score the ball. He's going to come with a lot of different ways. Offensive rebound, putback. He's an outstanding cutter, as he showed you there. 6'8"
freshman against Florida State. In game 1 against the Seminoles, he had 31. Shot clock down to 15. Barksdale gave up the dribble. Here's Green. He hasn't touched it much in the offensive end. Long one is around and out. And Brown is there for the rebound. Howell cuts, spins, flips it. No. Hokies trying to retake the lead now as we approach 6 minutes to go before halftime. Green stripped away from him, and out it goes off of his body.
Cedarian Reigns back on the floor.
Cedarian Reigns returns now for the Hokies. Reigns a big body at 6'9" and their best rebounder. NC State boasting 4 1,000-point scorers. Leslie, Wood, Howell, and Brown have all scored over 1,000. Offense is not a problem most of the time.
Virginia Tech sitting in the zone. Good find. Oh, beautiful. Just terrific zone offense. Ball enters the high post. Howell has been outstanding moving without the ball. He's 7 for 9. That is just really good zone offense.
He finishes. If he gets it down there, it's pretty much a done deal. With his size and his toughness. Reigns wants the lane. That's a pretty shot.
Yeah, his coach will tell you he is improving. He has gotten better over the course of the season. It looks pretty good today.
Leslie. And traveling again. He disagreed with that call, but that happens frequently with CJ.
Yeah, a little bit of happy feet. Let's watch what they do against the zone offense. The ball gets reversed. Lorenzo Brown going to enter to the post. He had a high post jumper. And Leslie's capable, but he understands his teammates has a better look. So he finds Mr. Howell. Nicely done by CJ.
Beautiful pass.
Or Calvin, as his coach would call him.
Green around midcourt. And throws away that pass. He's turned it over a couple of times here in the first half.
Well, you see some trapping on him, right? You see a big trap extend the floor. And Mark Godfrey trying to make Eric Green give up the basketball. He does so, and he doesn't do it well.
Green with more turnovers than field goals. He's turned it over 3 times. He's made 2 shots. The nation's top scorer. Warren jumps a little closer and nails it. No one picked him up.
So there's a mid-range. We've seen him cut mid-range. I guarantee at some point today he's going to score off an offensive board.
NC State by 3 here in round 1 in Greensboro. Johnston short. Rebound tipped out of play by Howell. 4:16 remaining. We check out the bracket. Boston College is into round 2 against Miami. We'll have that for you at noon tomorrow on ESPN2. And they're into the next round because of an otherworldly performance by Olivier Hanlon, a gifted freshman for BC, who poured in 41 points today.
That was so much fun to be a part of. And the ACC's Defensive Player of the Floor will take him on tomorrow, at least in part. Shane Larkin, an outstanding defender as well.
That's the top scoring performance in the Atlantic Coast Conference this year, and he was incredible. What, he hit his last 12 shots? 12
straight shots, and the game didn't get out of the gates very well.
Shot clock at 10 for the Hokies. Eddie took a look at it. Now it's down to 7. Long range, Eddie, no, off the back of the iron. Lorenzo Brown with a rebound. He finds Warren and he stuffs it down on the alley-oop. The play of the game so far today.
Running in transition, 3 different ways Mr. Warren has scored already, and they have to survive the stretch without Mr. Green.
Lorenzo Brown with a pick. How about that behind the back pass? Timeout, Virginia Tech.
You didn't want to have to use it. James Johnson didn't want to have to use it, but he had absolutely.
With a 34-27 advantage here.
Well, you talked about the number of 1,000-point scorers on NC State. At any given time, they'll have 5 guys on the floor that can score, which allows them to space the floor. Look at this. 4 out, 1 in. The spacing is incredible, and it allows this to happen. A little isolation for Mr. Howell because the guys are on perimeter. They're stretching, and they're good offensive players, so you got to be tagged to them. You got to be close enough, and that opens the floor.
Sometimes we've seen that look in the opponent's face facing NC State. Who do I guard now?
Yes.
Coach, give me an idea. Because 5 of these guys are hitting at the same time. Here's Eddie. Yes, that's a sweet 2.
I'll tell you, they can stay attached. You know, 6 points thus far for the ACC Player of the Year and leading scorer in the country, Mr. Green. But Eddie has had his back.
He's 4 for 5. Leslie quickly to his right, got shoved and almost made the shot. He'll go to the line. By the way, Green's got about 13 minutes without a point.
Yeah.
So Barksdale with the foul. Leslie at the line. The 6'9" junior out of Holly Springs, North Carolina. And drops in the first one. Let's bring in Allison Williams.
Well, Dave, NC State was able to go on a bit of a run because they started playing better defense. They had active hands, so the emphasis was to keep the pressure on Virginia Tech. If they play good D, it will open things up offensively.
Well, that was evident when they trapped and nearly turned the ball over along the scores table side. Here's Brown, guarded by Brown.
Ooh, that looks like a trap.
He did indeed turn it over. Lorenzo on Robert and forces the turnover.
Well, right on cue. You know, last break, coaches encouraging them to play defense, as Allison just said. So good pressure, and the carry ensues. And this is, listen, this is their story. You are now in the postseason, and the best teams in the country, those that have the best chance to advance, Dave, play defense at a high level.
Leslie had it knocked away, and again, but that time fouled. That would go against Raines, although he thought he got all ball. That's his first foul, 36-29. Leslie back to the line. And this is where he's really at his most effective, as you and I have seen him. It's drawing the fouls, getting to the line, getting to the free throw line. He has 9 points here in the first half.
How fast is he?
He can be lightning quick, averaging 15 and 8. It would certainly help his cause if he were a better foul shooter. Again, 61% for CJ.
Well, and the likelihood is, in fact, it's probably a certainty. He's gone. Good check in by Mr. Howell.
Wood finding Warren, bounces it errantly on the baseline into the paint. Leslie went around the back, and they turn it over.
Boy, what a terrific defensive possession by Sedarian Raines. That guy, big frame, just hustling, giving up his body at the end. That was a really good stretch for him.
So fast approaching the 2-minute mark here in this round 1 game in Greensboro. Doris Burke, Dave O'Brien, Allison Williams alongside. And they're going to turn it over. Great pressure again by Warren and Brown. And the Hokies kick it over.
Well, just great read. 6'8", 233 is Warren. 6'5", 186 is Lorenzo Brown. And Lorenzo Brown and Eric Green are very good friends.
Wood, time to shoot it. That won't fall. Warren went in hard for the rebound and draws the foul. He beat everybody to the basketball there. 1:48 left. That's the day you've been waiting for. Selection Sunday. Coverage coming up on ESPN. Bracketology at 3 o'clock. Then at 6, Sports Center providing coverage of the brackets as they're announced. Then at 7, our experts break it all down with 2 hours of bracketology. Warren misfiring on the first one. And back on the floor, Marshall Wood for the Hokies.
He's got to make this free throw to prove me right. I said I guaranteed he'd score off an offensive rebound, didn't I?
You did. Only a 57% foul shooter. 0 for 2. 36-29. 1:40 to go before the break. NC State just 7 out of 12 at the line. Otherwise, they'd have a healthier lead. Boy, Green just can't get room to breathe.
They're doing a great job on the ball screen defense. They're great job.
He misses again.
Yeah, you know, their bigs are hedging. They're trapping them.
Oh, look at Brown attack to the left hand.
That's good defense turning into offense. They have been on point with Eric Green. Every time there's a ball screen, they've handled it well.
He's 0 for his last 5. You mentioned that Green and Lorenzo Brown are good friends. They enjoy playing against each other. They were both commenting how much respect do they have for each other, but how much they were looking forward to this matchup. Eddie, who's had a better half. Green with 2 on the shot clock, and he hit that one.
Wow. And that's with his buddy, who's got some size and length in his face.
Wood off the hesitation. That won't drop for him. Oh, you know what? Virginia Tech is still hanging in there with half a minute before halftime. Down by 6. Green's looking for help. Brown's on him, and he gets a timeout. Timeout, Virginia Tech. 24 seconds remaining.
Watch what NC State is doing against Eric Green on the defensive end. You guard a great scorer with your entire team. So he forces a fadeaway. This is going to lead to transition. Who else is rebounding the basketball? Mr. Howell, no surprise. No one stops basketball. The first thing you do in transition defense. But how about this? This is under duress of the shot clock. You see there's 3 ticks on it. His buddy is not attached on the catch, and he makes him pay.
So Green with 9 points. He's made 3 of 8. Averaging 25 points a game. He's also a very good rebounding guard. And you talked about the unselfish part of Eric Green's game. It's a guy who averages about 4 assists a game.
Yeah, you know, he said, I pride myself on being an unselfish player.
So the Hokies can hold for a final shot. They're within 6 of NC State. Lorenzo Brown on Green. Jumper from the corner, around and out. Leslie there, they have time for a heave. Mid-court, he's got to get the shot in the air. He does on the runner, but it won't drop. And so we're at halftime here in Greensboro. At NC State on top. 38-32 on Green, Eddie Raines, and Barksdale for Tech. And for the Wolfpack, Brownwood, Howell, C.J. Leslie, and T.J. Warren, the talented freshman. And already an official whistle just 4 seconds into the second half.
4 seconds have come off the clock, but not off the shot clock.
So that'll have to be adjusted. Virginia Tech will have the ball opening up the second 20 minutes.
Even you and I could score if they're not going to run the shot clock.
Indeed. Green gives up the dribble right around midcourt, right on the logo. Now we've seen him get rolling as well as anybody can get rolling in the whole country. We've seen Green hang up 14 points in about 5 minutes. But without him, you don't like their chances of being close down the stretch to NC State. Now back up top for Brown, who had a good first half, passing the ball in particular, and defensively. Lorenzo Brown guarded by his pal Eric Green. 10 seconds on the shot clock now for the Wolfpack. Brown wants to go one-on-one with him. Got to get a shot in the air. Rebound tapped into the corner. Howell with a nice save and a new shot clock for NC State. A 6-point lead for the Wolfpack. Trying to pick up their 23rd win of the season. They won 24 all of last year, and they made it to the Sweet 16 of the NCAA tournament. Brown back for Warren. Again, the shot clock is down. Brown will shoot it and hit it. A three-pointer this time.
I like that. They got into the paint twice. Two different guys get into the paint before he shoots the three. So that's when you're okay with a look from three. Unless it's Scott Wood, then you'd rather them get the ball inside either on a post feed or on a dribble drive like they did.
But it's Leslie up high. Hard drive and creates the contact. He gets hit. In the opening minutes of the second half, Leslie will be at the line. There's James Johnson, first-year head coach for Virginia Tech, the former Army National Guard squad leader. So a man who can get your attention.
Yes. Very well liked in his stint as an assistant coach with Seth Greenberg.
Leslie makes the first. He was promoted to the top job. He actually won his first 7 games of the season.
And Eric Green says that this guy has been like a father figure, and he credits his head coach for his emergence as the level scorer he is.
Hokies at one point, however, lost 9 consecutive games in the heart of the ACC. Oh, stuffed in by Sedarian Raines off the miss.
See, this is where NC State can be frustrating, okay, because they allow a ball handler to cover the entire length of the floor. Nobody impedes his progress, and even though he doesn't make it, he allows his teammate Raines to clean it up. That's a lack of focus, and against this level competition may be okay. In an NCAA tournament game, it will hurt you.
7-point lead. Lorenzo Brown again. This will not fall, and rebounded away by Virginia Tech. So they can cut into the lead under 17. Rankin working on Wood. Eddie, a tough drive, and no one picked him up.
Dribble drives, last 2 possessions. There's sometimes State's attention to detail on the defensive end isn't there.
And Virginia Tech continues to hang around. Wood, yes.
You almost get the sense that they know they're good enough to outscore teams, and that's a dangerous way to think.
Well, they have lost 9 games and went 11-7 in the ACC, which disappointed many of their supporters. Green trying to draw some contact, and there is a foul with 16:13 to go.
So NC State has the lead. Well, watch how far this young man covers ground. I mean, he goes by 1, 2, 3 white jerseys, forces the rotation from Howell, and ends up with an N1 on the weak side of the floor because Raines is perfectly positioned to take advantage of the rotation.
Green pops out, fires it up, and it's in and out. And Howell there for the rebound. 46-38. Lorenzo Brown here off the Wood. Brown just named to the 2nd team All ACC. And another foul away from the basket.
All their numbers are really good. I'm anxious to see how the committee seeds them. Obviously, what they do here in Greensboro will be important. To me, it comes down to their defense. They've got multiple 1,000-point scorers. Offensively, they're as good as anyone in the country. Think about what they did on the road at Michigan. That was a possession ball game late. It's all about this end of the floor, or the defensive end of the floor for me with this team. We've seen them lose focus a couple of times here in the second half.
They work it around the perimeter. Shot clock at 15 for the Wolfpack. Here's Wood. He turned and he lost it. Looked like he wanted to get a medium-range jumper in the air. Rankin down the lane and lays it in.
And Rankin has come in the second half and been assertive with his dribble drive. He's got a very good handle. He's a very good right-handed driver, and he's doing nothing but being aggressive and attacking NC State.
He's helped cut the lead to 6. Howell pulls up and drains the jump shot. Howell has had a very good day. Game highs with 16 points and rebounds with 6. The spin by Eddie, and he knocks it down. Nicely done by Jarrell Eddie.
Did he travel? The crowd, that audible, like, oh, that sounded like they thought he traveled. I thought he might have gotten happy feet.
Warren launches the jumper, and that's a 3-pointer.
So how many field goals is that for him now? 5? four field goals, and all 4 have come in different fashion. He's got a tough matchup with Sedarian Reigns in there in the post.
Rankin again, some contact, shoved it up there and misfired. Way out in front now. Howell beats everybody, and a great vision by Lorenzo Brown to find the open runner. 53-42.
Is this the final 14 minutes of Eric Green's career?
Well, he hopes not. Off to Rankin. Here's Green. And the senior has not been able to get it going today.
Well, transition defense. Mark Godfrey told Allison right at the break, we are at our best when we do this. Richard Howell, it's a rim run. The pass is on the money. That's like a quarterback going to the end zone. And his touchdown celebration right there. 18 points, 9 of 11 from the floor. And Virginia Tech going zone.
Brown started the move, and he's traveling with it. Lorenzo Brown with a turnover. 13:37 to go. Eric Green averaging 25 points a game. A huge chunk of their points, obviously. 36% of the team's points this season. And today, just 9 of 42.
It's going to be an illegal screen, I think, on Marshall Wood. That'll be a turnover for Virginia Tech. Boy, that high flat top is coming back. All I can think about is Will Smith. You see a number of guys with that haircut in the NBA. You like it stylistically?
I don't think everybody can rock that. I mean, I could get away with it, but 53-42. 13:22 remaining. Warren leans in. A lot of iron, but he drops in 2.
A ton of game. To me, the point I'm making with his 5 different field goals in 5 different ways is he knows how to play. He's an opportunistic scorer. They don't have to run a lot of plays for him. He'll find his own way to score.
Let's see if Green finally gets into some kind of a shooting groove. They've done a great job shutting him down today.
I think Lorenzo Brown has been very good, and his teammates have assisted when necessary. Forced another tough shot. Good rotation by Howell.
Yeah, he has 1 field goal in the last 22 minutes. Howell trying to thread his way through, and he's able to keep it and score.
Allison reported, or just told us in the break, that they wanted to not let him catch it in the A gap, Richard Howell. Well, that last catch was in what they define as their A.
Richard Howell has been a big-time force once again for the Wolfpack. He has 20 points, but Wood has 10, Warren has 11, Leslie has 11. The swing in for Leslie.
It's exactly the shot you want. They run very good zone offense. So I say this, Lorenzo Brown's done a really good job of running his team today. Directing traffic. I don't mean just the assist. I mean communicating with his teammates.
He's only turned it over 1 time. You mentioned all the assists. Eddie gets free and he'll lay it in.
Now you can't relax. You know, NC State again. It's when you have a 10-point lead or a 12-point lead, it's got to go to 15, and then it's got to go to 18.
Eddie has 19 today. He had 17 at NC State earlier this season. Rebound free for Howell. And a block on the baseline foul against Virginia Tech. Let's go to Allison.
Well, I mentioned after the half how Virginia Tech was going to run some screens to get Eric Green open. Well, that was exactly what Mark Gottfried was trying to address during the last timeout, making sure NC State was clear defensively where everybody needed to be off that high ball screen to get both Eric Green and Eddie open as well.
Brown kicks the pass for Purvis. And they'll swing it back up top for Lorenzo Brown. Under 10 to play here in Greensboro. Purvis, plenty of time to shoot it, but it won't drop for him. So the Wolfpack unable to break completely away. Here's Green, and he's just had a tough day. 4 out of 14 for Eric Green and a foul.
The danger of it, though, Jarrell Eddy, if you had gotten that kind of support thinking you're going to get a normal night from this guy, you'd feel pretty good.
Sure.
But as you said, he can go a 3 or 4 minute stretch where all of a sudden all these misses start going down for him. You want a space now. You want to score right here, okay? If you're NC State. Don't allow Virginia Tech to think in the 9:35 they can come back.
Howell got it. He's had that mid-range jumper going all day.
And that high post area is wide open. They don't seem to be giving much resistance to Virginia Tech in the middle of that paint.
22 for Howell to lead everybody. On his way to yet another double-double. He has 7 rebounds, which he averaged one during the regular season. Raines, nice dish, but Green has it knocked away, or he lost it himself. I'm not sure actually there was any contact there. Brown slices in, no. Howell tried to save it. Raines comes away with it. 61-49. Eddy thought about the 3. Now he will take it. High rebound for Lorenzo Brown. So smooth, and he lays it in on a scoop shot.
How good is that? An accidental point guard. The transfer puts him in a position to take over the position, and he's got double-digit assists. And I'll say this, you're losing C.J. Leslie. I think Lorenzo Brown, because it's a historically weak draft in the NBA, I think he might have to go.
Just 1 turnover, 10 assists. Boy, you love that kind of a line on a point guard. Fall away, won't drop. Robert Brown can't hit. Now it's loose, and the Wolfpack come away with it. Trying to rebuild that lead. This time thrown away. Rare turnover by Brown. Green, pull up, long one. Boy, it's been a tough shooting day for him, hasn't it? The nation's top scorer, 4 for 15. Now 4 for 16. Howell gives up the dribble here. 10 on the shot clock for the Wolfpack. Brown, nifty spin, slapped and fouled by Barksdale. That was just 5 on the shot clock.
Well, the ACC first teamer Richard Howell, undersold, I believe, on the national stage, just works so hard. We know him as the undersized, relentless.
ESPNU's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's.
NC State leading here by 14 in Greensboro. Hey, March is tournament time. Set up your ESPN Tournament Challenge bracket pool today. Just go to ESPN.com/bracket. 63-49 the score. Eric Green maybe playing his last 7.5 minutes as a collegian and has made just 2 of his last 14 shots. So with him may go the hopes of Virginia Tech to pull an upset against NC State here today and knock them out of the ACC tournament, but just has not been number 11's day.
You have to have a short memory. You can't let the first 28 minutes of this game dictate, or 32 minutes dictate what you do. You got 7.5 left. You can go on a scoring spurt.
Lorenzo Brown will be at the line. He's a 77% foul shooter. The ACC's assist leader. And he has 10 assists today.
Well, and if they hold on here, they're going to face a Virginia team that beat them by 3 in Charlottesville. But remember, this guy played very limited minutes.
And he hits them both. So the lead back up to 16 as Tyler Lewis returns, and Brown will get a much deserved breather. The last time NC State built a nice little cushion like this, they allowed the Hokies to come charging back and make a game of it. Eddy off the fake, fouled by Howell. He picks up the personal with 7:20 to go. That's number 3 on Howell.
Long way to go before they're shooting free throws, though.
Long jumper by Wood off the back of that iron, and Warren picks the rebound. Boston College has already moved on by knocking off Georgia Tech by 20. A foul here with 7:05 left.
Eric Green was trying to bully Mr. Lewis. He just holding him, pushing him the entire possession. He got caught.
So Lewis will shoot. 1-1 for Tyler Lewis, the freshman from Statesville, North Carolina. And very good foul shooter at 85%.
Watch this. Tyler Lewis. He's going to hold him and push him, and look at that. That's a foul. Can't do that.
Made them both.
Make him pay, Mr. Lewis.
He did indeed. NC State trying to leave the court here this afternoon with 23 wins. And now Lewis is trying to hold up Rankin, and he commits the foul. A look at our bracket in the ACC tournament. Still to come tonight. Maryland and Wake Forest, and Florida State and Clemson. Miami is the #1 overall seed. They'll face Boston College at noon tomorrow. We'll have that for you here on ESPN. Eddie once again, but it's in and out. The shot's just not falling. Virginia Tech has barely attempted a foul shot today. They're just 3 for 3 at the foul line. Here's Green out of the pack with it. He'll pull up and fire. It's been that kind of day. 4 for 17, and Leslie denies his man, Joey Van Zegeren, and the crowd loves that here. Big time stuff.
Wow, it's called being met at the rim. The crowd was watching that on the Jumbotron, and it drew a gasp. Mr. Leslie, go ahead and defend.
Well, no denying he has those kind of skills. Foul by Wood. Certainly worth another look here. The rejection by Leslie.
These are the plays you talk about in the locker room post game, as long as you win it. Watch this. Oh. Both locker rooms might be talking about this, because Van Zegeren's teammates might let him hear about that when it's all said and done.
Van Zegeren's 6'10". That wasn't a guard going up there. Green at the foul line. Got a great look and draws the foul. Although he missed another jump shot. So they'll get Tyler Lewis for that personal with 6:06 to go. And a comfortable lead for the Wolfpack. That will put Green at the line. We have not called his name very much today. But how far has this young man come in his career? He's now a senior. Looks more and more like these will be his last 6 minutes.
You could tell the respect level that the ACC coaches have for this guy. They have 4 wins as a team, but he ends up as the ACC Player of the Year and a self-made guy. He starts out his freshman year, 2 points per game. And look at this, still competing, still playing as hard as he can play.
Went hard into the photographers and the cheerleaders. The first time today he had been at the foul line was just moments ago. 13 points and a timeout NC State. So Mark Godfrey takes one here. You know, back in that time, only 1 team from the conference would go to the NCAA tournament.
Yes.
So it's terribly meaningful. 67-51.
And look at the disgust. Yeah.
And he's the guy leading by 16.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't mean to nitpick on NC State, as you see C.J. Leslie come back up the floor. But little mistakes, right? You're up 15, I get it. Sharp, you don't play to the score, you play to a standard. I believe this team can do some damage in the NCAA tournament. They are good enough offensively, but that tournament, especially as you advance into the second weekend, Dave, is about minimizing your mistakes and playing high-level defense. That's how you survive and advance.
Now, Mark Gottfried's telling people we're not thinking, at least as far as the ACC tournament, we're not thinking about winning 4 games in 4 days. We're just trying to win one at a time. Today it's Virginia Tech. And we're not thinking about anybody else until that's over and done with.
I love it. And you hope Miami comes in with a similar frame of mind, right? Because I think they're looked at points to me, especially later in the year. Did Miami start feeling the pressure of trying to win the ACC? And, you know, all of the media attention. As the season unfolds, different challenges will be placed before you as a team. And you got to meet every single one of them.
Lorenzo Brown is back in the game, incidentally. So Mark Gottfried was not comfortable with him on the bench. Leslie tried to attack that iron, and he draws the foul. A lot of whistles here down the stretch with 5:46 to go. And Wood picks up the foul, and that will put Leslie at the line. Leslie selected 3rd team All ACC. A very nice honor, but so many thought that he might be the player of the year in the conference, and it just never worked out that way for CJ.
Has 1st team ACC ability, has player of the year ability. It's just his inconsistency, I think, that's probably maddening to ACC or NC State fans.
He makes it 69-53. See NC State way out in front from the foul line. Eddie's jumper off target.
Well, he's had a lot of those. A lot of them go around the rim, hit it soft enough.
Another big day for Howell. 22 points, 11 rebounds for the senior from Marietta, Georgia. But Wood got drilled in a rib cage as he went to the baseline to cut.
And he's holding his side still.
Yeah. Leslie tried to bank it in, draws the foul. He's back to the line.
He's bent over here, Wood, like trying to collect his breath.
He acted like he really got drilled in the rib cage.
The way he's acted is like the wind got knocked out of him.
Yep. Obviously no foul was called on that play, but he's going to argue his case. Leslie to the line.
You see what he did? He said, I got elbowed in the stomach.
Yep. Leslie with the miss. Watch Wood on that baseline.
That's where he took the shot. Yep. Wood, and you know, coaches tell you to do that, right? You see a cutter going through the lane, you make sure you touch him to impede his progress.
Leslie got that one.
Touch him. I'm sure that felt like a little more than a touch to Mr. Wood.
So he behaved. 14 for Leslie. Rankin on the dribble drive, on the spin. Too strong. Leslie grabs that rebound with authority. He finds Warren. Not a good pass, though, and he's traveling with it. He was wide open, but it was a sloppy pass.
Yeah, I like that Leslie was thinking that way, though. Get it up there in a hurry.
70-53. 4:45 left here in Greensboro. Eddie, hard drive, banks it in. So Jarrell Eddie with a good day, 21 points. He averages 12. He's had a lot to make up for, though, because it just hasn't been a good afternoon for Eric Green. And another foul here away from the ball with 4:27 to go. And that foul will go on Marquise Rankin, number 4 on the sophomore. Lewis will be at the line to shoot a pair. Lewis, 2012 McDonald's All-American. Was the State of Virginia Gatorade High School Player of the Year while playing his senior year at Oak Hill Academy.
Grew up a huge North Carolina Tar Heel fan, but he was 3rd on their depth chart in terms of recruiting. So.
.72-55. Here's Green, and that was in the cylinder and out. Well, that's emblematic of the kind of day it's been for him. He's 4 for 18.
Well, I thought Sedarian Reigns just fouled out C.J. Leslie about 3 times.
Brown will back it out again. Another smart play by Lorenzo Brown, the Roswell, Georgia native. Under 4 to play. And another whistle. The way these guys are going can be expected there.
Well, 58-55 was the game in Charlottesville. Remember, this guy only played 10 minutes. It's where he injured his ankle. They lose that game. They go on to lose the next couple. Don't do well in his absence. Yeah, I mean, Virginia's going to make you guard for 35 seconds, if at all possible.
Leslie with another one coming. He's been at the line frequently today, making 1 of 2. Now Virginia Tech shot the ball very well in the first half, Doris. 50%, just 31% in the second half. A major reason the score is what it is. A swing here for Rankin, playing in foul trouble. Eddie down low here for Barksdale, up against Howell. That's a pretty good matchup. Rebound tap to Wood, and the Wolfpack have it.
You know what? We've talked all game about Lorenzo Brown doing a great job. Leadership on the offensive end, passing with minimal turnovers. You know what else he's done? And this is what will catch the eye of NBA scouts. He's guarded Eric Green, right? He's guarded the nation's leading scorer all day. I know he's had some assistance from his teammates, but he's done a really good job.
Shot clock down to 9. We're under 3 minutes to go here. Second game of the day from Greensboro. On a crossover, Brown. A kick here for Lewis. He can't connect from long distance. 73-55. The jumper, Barksdale, not there. And again, Eric Green just 4 for 18 today. And what will be his final collegiate appearance, in all likelihood. 2.5 minutes to go and a sizable NC State advantage. Seven to shoot now for the Wolfpack. Brown gets it free for Wood. That's the best open look he's had all day. Lewis went down hard on the baseline as he went sprawling, and the Hokies have a man down as well. Now it's Eddie who's going to need some help to get up. He's in pain. So both Eddie and Lewis went down. Was that just incidental contact?
I think it was just 2 guys.
And they're both up.
I'm not looking. You describe it.
Oh, it wasn't that bad, Doris.
I'm
no,
not
you're
looking.
fine.
You know what? That's like when a fly ball is between outfielders and they're on a dead sprint. I will avert my eyes. I can't watch that.
I've seen some of those collisions in center field, and they are horrible to watch. Well, Howell comes out to a huge ovation. Richard Howell had quite a day. 22 points, 12 rebounds.
Consistent excellence, right? On a nightly basis, that young guy.
And the first thing he did was check to see if Lewis was okay. Green with a jump shot, but it's been a very quiet day for him. The nation's #1 scorer with 15. Less than 2 minutes to play. There have only been 3 teams all year to hold him below 20 points. That's North Carolina, Miami, and BYU. And it looks very likely as if NC State will be added to that list in his last college game. Brown flips it up there, and another assist for Lorenzo Brown. Give him 12 assists. 78-57. This was only a 6-point game at halftime. Green at the line. Nice dish here, and Byer knocks it in.
Pretty pass, pretty pass. He's not trying to score. He doesn't care about what he's averaging. He's not going to force a shot just to get a number on the board. That's nice.
Well, do you take him out of the game at this point? I think you do. And that's it for Eric Green. He's coming out of the game, his last college game, the ACC Player of the Year. And James Johnson takes him out. And a tremendous career comes to an end. And Virginia Tech.
I love that he made that play to end his career. It was never about the numbers. Did he lead the country in scoring? Yes, he did, but that was not his intention.
(78-59), so NC State is going to move on to face Virginia in round 2 of the ACC tournament tomorrow. We'll have it for you on ESPN2. Racer into the lane and lays it in.
Nice soft floater.
So the ACC Player of the Year is one and done in the ACC tournament. And the Wolfpack will pick up their 23rd win. They'll improve to 23-9. A whistle with 20.7 on the clock. Virginia Tech will finish up at 13-19. And they will be eliminated here in Greensboro. So the early game winners will be Boston College and NC State.
It'll be on James Johnson. You got to get at least 2 good recruiting classes. If you're going to turn a program around, your ability to recruit successive classes. It's not about one great class. You've got to have 2 or 3 really strong classes.
Rankin back inside, draws another foul with 19.2 to go.
The foul has been charged to NC State at number 0, Rodney Purvis. That is
Rodney Purvis will pick up the foul, his first. And Rankin knocks down the first one. Now Mark Gottfried still coaching hard on that bench as he chats with his starters. So much expected of the Wolfpack this season.
Coaching's a 24/7 job, baby. It doesn't stop. I love that. He's in the ear of C.J. Leslie, because tomorrow he's going to need C.J. Leslie.
Purvis down the lane with authority. A tomahawk slam. And that's the last shot taken today. NC State wins it 80-63. Howell at 22 points, 12 rebounds. Leslie 15 and 7. Lorenzo Brown at 12 assists and 9 points. They advance to play Virginia in the quarters.
How about this to end the afternoon session? Olivier Hanlon in the first game. Rodney Purvis says this game is over.
And so is the college career of Eric Green. He finishes 5 for 19 from the floor, 15 points.